Okay, so here's the thing we're not considering.
Okay.
We're always like, Selena can't be the best assassin. What if all the other assassins legitimately suck?
All right, we've started recording. Alrighty. Part 2 of the thrilling adventure of Chapter 10. Archer was waiting inside an exclusive dining room, frequented by the elite of Rifthold. Most of the tables were already occupied, the patrons' fine clothes and jewels glimmering in the dim light. It's an elite dining hall. They can't even light it good. People are going to have eye strain trying to look at the menu.
Mm-hmm. That's, having headaches is actually part of being elite.
Oh. As the servant at the front helped her out of her cloak, she made sure that she was angled away from Archer, Imdash, so he couldn't get an eyeful of the exquisite black lace that covered the open back, and mostly concealed her scars from Indovir. That was in parentheses, shockingly.
Wait, hold on. I thought the scars were across her back from Indovir.
Across her back?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's lace on the back of her dress. So it's got an open back, but there's lace covering it, so you can kind of see through it. So it makes it feel way less risque.
They should have said that last.
They did.
Oh, they did?
They didn't. They just briefly mentioned black lace.
Oh, okay. You just weren't paying attention to you. Not surprised, if I'm being honest.
I also, didn't say anything about that detail. I just kept going.
Oh, okay.
She felt the... Is that the smell of your paints?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She felt the eyes of...
Does it smell like medicine to you?
I had a strange whiff of, strange kind of, chemical. I can't smell it now, though, so... She felt the eyes of the servant on her, too, but pretended not to notice. Why does she need to pretend not to notice? You can notice.
Yeah, you say, hey, eyes up here, servant. I'm more than a piece of that. Selena, that dress is surprisingly low-waisted. Selena, the back of your dress is surprisingly low-waisted.
Archer let out a breath, and she turned to find him grinning, slowly shaking his head. I think stunning, beautiful, and dazzling are the words you're looking for. Oh, sorry.
I think
that was her voice. I thought he was talking. I think stunning, beautiful, and dazzling are the words you're looking for, she said. She took his arms as they were escorted to a table tucked into an alcove of the ornate room. Archer ran a finger along the red-silver sleeve of her gown. I am glad to see your taste matured along with the rest of you. And with your arrogance, it seems. She would have smiled anyways, she told herself. Once they were seated, had the menu recited to them. Oh, they can't even read the menu. They have to hear it.
Hey, what do you think the literacy rate for adults is in this book?
I don't know, but that's a good question. It's an oral menu.
Or maybe the menu changes so often that they're like, it's not worth the paper to print a menu.
I thought they were exclusive.
Just because
exclusive not print a menu?
Just because the club is exclusive doesn't mean that the owner isn't tight-fisted. Just saying.
He is tight-fisted. I like that.
Or she.
Or she. My apologies.
Hold on, I'm gonna...
She's spritzing it. She's spritzing her paper. I don't even know if it picked up the spritzing.
Oh, okay. I tried using my quieter spritzer. My other one's kind of louder.
Yeah. Sounds like a baby possum.
Yeah.
The oral menu and ordered the wine. Selena found herself staring into that exquisite face. So, she said, leaning back in her chair, how many ladies want to kill me tonight for monopolizing your time? He gave a chuckle. He gave a laugh like a tickle of breath. If I told you, you'd be bolting back to the castle. You're still that popular? You take me to dinner. You take me to dinner and you insult me.
You're insulting me. You take me to dinner and you insult...
Dang. I do feel like it would probably be good for someone in his career. I feel like you wouldn't want your patrons feeling possessive of your time. They get the time, they pay for it. They might be bummed out that they don't get a, pay for you tonight, but also that's most nights, because you're popular.
Literally. I mean, and he could just be, saying the talk.
That's true. He's actually not seeing anyone, because remember, he's a rebel now. Everything he's doing is rebel-related.
Yeah.
Please let it be. Please.
I so wish that he is, transferring information or something between rebel locations via these women.
It would be so great. Archer waved a hand, taking a sip of his wine. I still have my debts to Clarissa, he said, naming the most influential and prosperous madame in the capital. But, yes, a twinkle gleamed in his eye. And what of your surly friend? Should I watch my back tonight, too? This was all a dance, a prelude to what would come later. She winked at him. He knows better than to try to keep me locked up.
Does he?
Word help the man who does. I still remember what a hellion you were. And here I was thinking you found me charming. In the way a mountain cat's cub is charming, I suppose.
I do like the voice you're using for him, man.
Oh.
For Archer.
Thanks. I'll try and keep it up.
Yeah, if you don't...
It's not going to happen when I'm reading at the end of the day, because my voice is different at the end of the day.
It's true. This is true.
Anyway. She laughed and drank a small sip of her wine. She had to keep her head as clear as possible. When she set her glass on the table, she found Archer giving her that contemplative, sad look he'd given her yesterday. Can I ask how you came to work for him? She knew he meant the king, Imdash, and also knew he was aware they weren't the only people in the dining room. He would have made a good assassin. Perhaps the king's suspicions weren't so far off.
That's why she's the best assassin. Because to be a good assassin, you just gotta know how to not speak plainly, I guess.
Yeah, apparently. Remember, you're in a crowded room. You're a good assassin. Which, again, low bar. Perhaps the king's suspicions weren't so far-fetched. But she'd prepared for this question, and countless others, so she gave him a wicked smile and said, Turns out my skills are better suited to aiding the Empire than they are to mining. Working for him and working for Arbion are nearly the same. That wasn't a lie, actually. Is Arobin, the boss of Indovir?
No, he's the Assassin King.
Oh! Maybe this is the first time I've heard his name, Arobin. Archer gave a slow, considering nod. Our professions have always been similar, yours and mine. I can't tell which is worse, training us for the bedroom or the battlefield. Okay, so apparently it's not, a chill thing to be a courtesan.
Yeah, I guess you might get stabbed at any moment.
Well, I mean, he said which is worse, training for the bedroom or battlefield. Or maybe, he might not actually mean worse. That's true. They're just chit-chatting.
Yeah.
I don't need to take things literally. If she recalled correctly, he'd been 12 when Clarissa had discovered him as an orphan running wild in the capital's streets and invited him to train with her. And when he turned 17 and had the bidding party for his virginity, there had been rumors of actual brawls breaking out among would-be patronesses. Would-be patronesses. I think
that makes me kind of uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But okay, whatever, I guess.
I can't tell either. They're equally horrible, I suppose. She lifted her wine glass in a toast.
How much?
Oh my gosh, wine glass was so hard to read. I really wanted to say wing glass.
Wing glass. I wonder how much debt Finn is if he's still in debt to the madam, and he's so popular.
The debt is proportional to your popularity. You're always in debt because she made you.
Without me, you're nothing.
Without me, you're nothing.
You've got nothing.
Shout out to anyone who can say what we quote when we talk to each other. Anyways, they're all equally worse. She lifted her wine glass in a toast to our esteemed owners. His eyes lingered on her for a moment before he lifted his glass and murmured, "To us." The sound of his voice was enough to make her skin heat, but the look in his eyes as he said it, the curve of that divine mouth, ellipsis. He was a weapon, too. A beautiful, deadly weapon. See, like, if this were a fanfic, I could really enjoy some of this, but it's not a fanfic. Also, I'm already not enjoying the story.
Why does everyone have to be a deadly weapon, huh?
Yeah.
You know?
And I didn't mean deadly weapon. I was more referring to, like, some stuff with courtesans and some stuff I just said. Like, if there was a story with that, I'm like, I could be into a fanfic like that.
Yeah. No, I want to know, why does everyone have to be a deadly weapon? Why can't... Well, of course, she doesn't know that much about Archer right now. I would be more interested, instead of hold on, let me try to not stumble over all my words. I think it would be more interesting if... Fine, Archer can be deadly in whatever way. I would definitely prefer it to be deadly this dick! No, deadly less in a physical capacity and more of, like, deadly with his connections. Like, I don't want him to be like, oh, he's so dangerous, he could kill me. And be like, he's so dangerous, lots of people like him, and he could have one of them kill me.
He's got the queen on speed dial.
Closer. Anyways, why does I think it would be nice if there was some variety and not everyone was, like, physically dangerous.
Yeah.
Or we acknowledge some other dangers than just, like, them being like, I could grab you and snap your neck in half or whatever, you know?
Like the dangers of STIs.
STIs. Oh, I'll get you in the end.
Not to make light of what you were saying. Totally agree.
Archer plays the long game. That's all I can say. Anyways, the book isn't as interesting as I want it to be. Boo-hoo, no surprise.
Yeah.
As I would like it to be.
Mm-hmm. A beautiful, deadly weapon. He leaned over the edge of the table, pinning her to the spot with his stare. A challenge.
The narration... A deadly weapon. Me, must he be?
Must he?
Who did this to you?
Apparently that's just what we're always going to say with Archer. Who did this to you? Must he? Pinning her to the spot with his stare. A challenge, M-dash, and an intimate invitation. God's above and aware to save me. She actually needed to take a long sip from her wine this time. It's going to take more than a few sultry glances to make me your willing slave, Archer. You should know better than to try the tricks of your trade on me. He let out a low, rumbling laugh that she felt in her core. And I think you know well enough to realize that I'm not actually using them. If I were, then we would have left the restaurant already. That's a bold claim. I don't think you want to go head-to-head with me when it comes to tricks of the trade. Well, we all know she can't poison anyone. She don't know poisons. His wine glass is safe. Oh, I want to do a lot of things with you.
Oh. Ohio.
She'd never be so grateful to see a servant in her life, and never realized that a bowl of soup could be so immensely interesting. They came to this exclusive restaurant for a bowl of soup.
It's the appetizer.
Oh, you're right. It's the appetizer.
And I'm sure the bowl of soup was made by orphans or something, so...
Probably.
It's bougie. I'm sure the bowl of soup has seal milk in it, so...
Seal milk soup. You know, cream of tartar. I'm not cream of tartar. Whoa.
Cream of
mushroom, but the cream is all seal. Their milk is mostly cream.
Good for them, you know? I
Since
wish
she
that was
dismissed
me.
her carriage just to spite Kaol and back up her insinuation, Selena wound up in Archer's carriage after dinner. The meal itself had been pleasant enough, talk of old acquaintances, the theater, books, the miserable weather, all comfortable, safe topics, though he'd kept looking at her like she was his prey, and this was one long hunt. Because he's wondering if he can get her over to the rebellion.
Yeah, he's literally going to try to network you, Selena. Watch out!
Watch out, he's networking.
Walk it.
They sat beside each other on the bench of the carriage, close enough that she could smell whatever fine cologne he wore. That's right, it's fine.
Okay.
It's elegant, it's not overpowering.
Beth, it's cologne.
All right.
Cologne is from a cologne. It's not cologne if it's not made from Cologne, Germany.
I thought that was from France.
That's champagne.
Oh. Okay. Cologne, Germany exists. I'll have to find out when Cologne came about. Because maybe we'll say they just call it Cologne so we know what it is. However,
Which
I'm going to base
fine.
it on Cologne time frame.
Like,
don't know
and
how to
it's
spell
fine
cologne.
calling that to be like, yeah, we're calling it Cologne just so the audience knows what it is. So.
Yeah.
Like, really, I don't have an issue with that. But I have an issue with everything else.
So she'll take issue with this.
Because it also, have you considered, it makes the book more enjoyable.
It
to
does.
Take issue with.
It does. Like, if we weren't taking issue and doing this, we'd be done faster. I mean, we could read, like, 3 chapters in the amount of time, but we'd hate it.
What's even the point? Is there no joy and love left in the...
All right. Cologne he wore. An elegant, tantalizing blend that made her think of silk sheets and candlelight.
I want to know what the blend actually is, and how much urine is in it.
How much urine? It's got to evaporate somehow.
Man, I wish... Okay, you're right that perfumes have to evaporate, but that did just give me the thought of someone, like, putting a lot of perfume on and then just being kind of sopping. Because it just doesn't evaporate very quickly.
Oh, I mean, if it's made with urine, that will happen.
You'll get sopping or will
You'll
evaporate?
get sopping.
Yeah,
Urine
well...
takes... It's mostly water.
Yeah, well... I wasn't... I said it for a joke.
It was a joke. It was a
ha-ha funny! Please don't take it seriously. This is a joke. This is a ha-ha funny.
So she turned her mind to what she was about to do.
Kill him.
The carriage rolled to a stop, and Selena glanced at the small window to see a familiar, beautiful townhouse. Archer looked at her and gently twined her fingers with his before raising her hand to his lips. It was a soft, slow kiss that burned through her. He murmured onto her skin.
Also
what?
Also seems like this society has something to do with virginity, like having the same kind of putting a high value on virginity if there was like a whole virginity auction for him.
Bidding party? I just barely realized that bidding party means auction.
Anyway. Not so disappointing. I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
Mm-hmm.
And what are the chances of him actually being a vote? I'm sure they could have sold him to like the 3 highest bidders.
They could have
Just separately. And he just pretends. Like, it's not like...
How are they gonna know?
How are they going to know, you know? Anyway.
Maybe he's trans.
Oh my goodness. I'm into it.
I mean, he's probably taking testosterone if he looks like that. because he's very, very masculine.
That, he has a
Magic.
bodysuit underneath that. All with the latex.
I keep forgetting there's magic, actually.
Magic.
That's an option. He has a weird.
He has a weird, right?
It's weird.
Let's just say I have a certain appeal. The appeal is a weird mark. Anyway. But I mean, I guess it would be good business to be like, let's get some extra money for the virginity take of my new prostitute. Let's just have let's just dupe as many people as we can into it. Archer, you better, don't waste those improv classes I spent on you.
So he murmured onto her skin, "Do you want to come inside? Do you want to come inside?"
She's like, yeah, so I can kill you, son of a...
She swallowed hard. "Don't you want a night off?"
Oh, yeah.
That was not what she
I was also
expected.
going to say, I would appreciate, potentially, if, like, Archer's been doing this for so many years, since he was 17. Wouldn't you get tired of chocolate walking in a candy shop all day? Bad metaphor. Wouldn't you think you get tired of sex from being a courtesan all day and
it's
all
his job.
night?
It's his job.
Like, it's his job. What does he do in his... Can't he have free time?
That's what we're about to find out.
Though, he's trying to get her
He's
in...
networking, though.
Okay, that's so true. Networking is part of the job.
Grinding.
He's on the grind.
He's on the grind.
The
He's
grind
on a
dollar?
network, not the grinder.
Damn
Pretty
it.
sure it said. No, we said he'd only be around for a woman. That's what we said.
Yeah, well... Taking everything good out of having a fun time.
Yeah. This was not what she'd expected, and ellipsis, and this was not what she wanted, flirting aside. He lifted his head, but still held her hand, his thumb caressing small circles into her flame-hot skin. "It's immensely different when it's my choice, you know." Someone else might have missed it, but she'd also grown up without choices, and recognized the glimmer of bitterness. She eased her hand out of his. "Do you hate your life?" Her words were barely more than a whisper. He looked at her, truly looked at her, as though he somehow hadn't seen her until just now. "Sometimes," he said, and then his eyes shifted to the window behind her and the townhouse behind it. Actually, I think his eyes just shifted to the townhouse, not to the window.
Unless he looked at the window specifically, so it's like... And then you just focus behind the window.
Maybe. "But some days," he went on, someday I'll have enough money to pay off Clarisse forever. To really be free. And live on my own.
I know how this
bank.
Make
What?
bank. This Calissa, whatever her name is, has incredible inflation.
Oh.
That's how she keeps him.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I just meant on the debt inflation. Oh, she just put him in ultra debt once she realized he was...
She gave him a loan for school. Didn't mention it's 20% interest rate. "You'd leave being a courtesan?" He gave her a half smile that was more real than any expression she'd seen him give tonight. "By that point, I'll either be rich enough that I won't ever have to work, or old enough that no one will hire me." Wrong.
I will hire him! Wrong! Me! Man, I mean, that's kind of, I do like what he's saying. Like, it's kind of just like, man, I'll either be rich enough or I'll be so old.
But I'll be there.
I'm sure you're just reading it. I'm sure it only feels that way from how you're reading it, but he does sound like kind of defeated with being like, it's gonna take so long, man. Anyway, I appreciate your performance.
Oh, thank you. She had a flicker of memory from a time when, just for a moment, she'd been free. when the world had been wide open and she'd been about to enter it with Sam at her side. It was a freedom she was still working for. Because even though she'd tasted it only for a heartbeat, it had been the most exquisite heartbeat she'd ever experienced. She took a steadying breath and looked him in the eye. It was time. The king sent me to kill you. End of chapter. Dramatic notes.
God, who gives a shit?
Dang, okay, I'll admit, I want to keep going. I'm invested kind of in Archer now, because, once I start voicing characters, I get invested. Yeah. Like, they're alive to me now.
Well, I guess I'll wash my brush and I'll read the next chapter.
Okay.
I'll try to do Archer justice.
It will be out to y'all no sooner, but we're going to find out today.
Yeah!